Hidden treasures. Sometimes they are not buried under mountains or locked inside bank vaults. Sometimes they're sitting right in your pocket, waiting to change your life forever. Tonight, we open the vault of America's past. A vault filled not with gold or diamonds, but with tiny silver legends that have become the talk of every major auction house in the United States. You've heard of the Washington Quarter, a coin we've all used, tossed, and overlooked. But what if I told you one of these coins could be worth more than a house? What if a simple quarter, minted decades ago, carried a story so powerful it could rewrite your understanding of value itself? This is Hidden U.S. Coins, the most trusted and faithful source for daily updates on America's most valuable hidden treasures. And today, we begin our countdown, the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable Washington quarters in today's auction market. Stay with me till the end, because each coin you will see today does not just hold a price. It holds power, rarity, and a secret only a few collectors in the world truly understand. First, coin number 1. When you first look at this coin, it doesn't scream luxury. It is humble, aged, and carries shades of yellow, brown, and gray colors that tell you this coin has lived. It's been through hands, through years, through stories, and yet it's still standing in very fine condition. But behind that old metal lies a masterpiece from 1959 struck in Denver, marked by the D Mint, and born during a time when America was transitioning into a new era of design, technology, and identity. The 1959 with D quarter belongs to the legendary Washington Quarter series, which started in 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. But this specific coin minted in Denver carried something unique in its DNA. It was among the last quarters struck with true 90% silver composition before America's coinage began to change forever. Each coin from this era wasn't just a piece of currency, it was a piece of history, a piece of America's silver heart. Now, why is the 1959 with D so special? It's not just the metal, it's the mystery. Very few pieces with this distinctive yellow, brown, and gray spotted tone have ever appeared in today's collectors' circles. Experts believe that specific environmental conditions during the minting and circulation caused this unique patina, a natural fingerprint that makes each coin a one-of-a-kind visual story. Collectors love rarity, but what drives true demand is a story that can't be repeated. And this coin's story can't be duplicated. Its natural toning patterns make it a living artifact, something that cannot be remade by machines or man. For decades, the 1959 with D quarter was quietly circulating, barely noticed. Many were melted down, many were lost, and a very few survived in collectible shape. But recently, something changed. Major coin grading companies began to notice that certain 1959 with Ds, especially those with distinctive natural tones and clean surface preservation, were commanding unbelievable bids in auctions. This coin in very fine condition with its unmistakable yellow, brown, and gray appearance has suddenly become a lightning bolt in the numismatic world. And here's where things get truly shocking. When one of these coins crossed the auction floor this year, collectors went absolutely silent. The bidding started at a modest few thousand, but within minutes, it skyrocketed beyond expectation. Bidders knew what they were seeing wasn't ordinary. It was a piece of American silver legacy. When the hammer finally dropped, the crowd was left speechless. This humble 1959 with D Washington quarter was sold for a jaw-dropping $165,000 in the current market. Yes, you heard that right. One single quarter, a coin you could easily mistake for pocket change, is now valued at over $165,000 in today's auction market. That's not fiction. That's the power of authenticity, rarity, and history combined. Collectors are calling it a hidden treasure, a coin that bridges generations. It's not just valuable, it's alive with legacy. The value of this coin continues to rise day by day as more people begin to realize just how limited its surviving population truly is. Each passing year, more collectors join the chase, and fewer genuine pieces remain. Now, let me make something clear. The number I just shared, that $165,000, is current. It's not an estimate or a future prediction. This is the real market value of the 1959 with D Washington quarter in today's high-stakes numismatic world. And experts believe the value will not stop here. It's rising, climbing, growing, with every major sale, with every collector's discovery, and with every passing month of global attention. If you're a collector, here's my personal tip for you. Never underestimate coins with natural toning or strong strike marks from this period. Look closely at coins minted in Denver, especially those with fine preservation and authentic color variations. You might just be holding something that is waiting to change your destiny. Because coins like the 1959 with D. Washington quarter are no longer just collectibles. They're investments. They're relics of American identity. They're treasures that speak louder than gold. So next time you check your old coin collection, don't ignore the quarters. Examine every detail, every tone, every mint mark, because your next coin could be the one to rewrite your financial story forever. The 1959 with D. Washington quarter, a coin of silver, a coin of spirit, a coin of history. And this is only the first coin on our list. What's coming next will leave you in absolute shock, because the next coin story isn't just rare, it's almost unbelievable. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and stay tuned because in Hidden US Coins, we don't tell stories. We reveal secrets that can make your collection worth more than you ever imagined. Next coin, number 2. Now, if you thought the 1959 with D. Washington quarter was astonishing, brace yourself, because the story of our next coin reaches even deeper into America's numismatic history. This one doesn't carry a mint mark. It looks modest, almost plain at first glance. But behind that calm, classic face lies a silent giant, a coin that turned collectors' worlds upside down when it resurfaced in the modern auction market. This is the 1951 Washington quarter without a mint mark, a coin whose mystery lies not in what's printed, but in what's missing. When you hold a 1951 quarter, you're holding a symbol of post-war America, a time when the nation was rebuilding its identity after the greatest global conflict the world had ever seen. The country was entering an era of power, innovation, and hope. Families were growing, industries were booming, and the U.S.'s Mint was producing millions of coins to meet the exploding demand of a modern economy. But within that massive production run, something remarkable happened. Amid the Denver and San Francisco mints, which proudly stamped their marks on their creations, the Philadelphia Mint, America's oldest mint, released its own 1951 quarters without any mint mark at all. And within those unmarked coins, an extremely small group emerged with characteristics so unique, so visually distinct, that even seasoned collectors were left in awe. One such coin, the one we're talking about today, carries deep brown and black toning, a rich natural contrast that tells a story of age, preservation, and authenticity. This isn't artificial coloring. This is what decades of careful storage, slow oxidation, and untouched preservation do to silver. It is nature's own artwork, painted on 90% silver canvas. The 1951 no mint mark quarter was struck from solid silver, a true relic from an age when coins still had intrinsic value, not just face value. But what elevates this piece above all others isn't just its composition, it's the condition. Very clear condition. The details on George Washington's profile are sharp, unblemished, almost glowing under light. The feathers on the eagle's wings are distinct, showing every line, every strike from the minting die. Collectors call it clarity perfection, the kind of preservation that seems almost impossible for a coin that has been around for more than 70 years. For decades, these no mint mark 1951 quarters went unnoticed. Millions of ordinary ones circulated, faded, and vanished into drawers. But the few that survived with perfect detail and natural, darkened toning became something else, something far greater. Auction houses like Heritage and Stack's Bowers started witnessing a rising wave of interest. Experts began classifying this coin as one of the most undervalued Washington quarters in history until recently. Because once collectors realized just how few pieces in this condition actually exist, the market went wild. Imagine this: a simple, unmarked 1951 quarter, the kind most people would overlook, suddenly becoming a centerpiece in elite collections, its value growing exponentially with each passing year. And then came the moment that changed everything. At a major U.S. auction earlier this year, a 1951 Washington quarter with identical characteristics, brown and black natural toning, extremely clear preservation. No mint mark was presented to a crowd that knew exactly what was about to happen. The auctioneer's voice echoed through the hall as the bids began. It was like watching history rewrite itself in real time. Every bidder knew they weren't just chasing a coin. They were chasing legacy. And when the final bid was placed, Silence fell over the room. The hammer came down, sold for an unbelievable $170,500. That's right. One Washington quarter, no mint mark, brown and black spotted surface, and in very clear condition sold for $170,500. Not an estimate. Not a rumor. That's the current market value, verified, confirmed, and witnessed by collectors worldwide. And let me tell you something, that number isn't slowing down. Every major collector and investor now has their eyes on this coin. Its demand is exploding across the United States. The market value is climbing every single month, as more and more collectors realize just how rare this no mint mark version in pristine clarity truly is. This isn't hype, this is real. The 1951 quarter has officially transitioned from collector's item to national treasure. If you're a coin collector or even someone just starting your journey, here's my advice. Keep your eyes open for coins from the early 1950s. Focus on Philadelphia strikes without mint marks, especially those with strong natural patina and clear, crisp designs. Get them graded. Protect them. Because their value isn't just financial, it's historical, emotional, and deeply cultural. And remember this, in the coin world, clarity means rarity, and rarity means legacy. The 1951 with no mint mark Washington quarter has proven itself not just as a collectible, but as a treasure that turns a piece of silver into a symbol of endurance, art, and wealth. Its market value continues to climb, its story continues to grow, and its place in America's numismatic heritage is now forever sealed. So next time you pick up a Washington quarter from your drawer, check carefully. Look for that missing mint mark. Examine the tone. Study the details. Because if you find one that matches this description, you are not just holding a coin. You're holding a silent fortune. And remember, Hidden U.S. Coins is your faithful, trusted home for these discoveries. We don't just share facts, we uncover the secrets that turn everyday change into American treasure. Stay tuned because the next coin on our list will make even this $170,000 treasure look like just the beginning. What comes next is going to shake the collector world to its core. Next coin 3. Now we move forward to one of the most iconic dates in the United States. Coinage history, a year that marked America's 200th birthday, a year of fireworks, celebration, and an explosion of patriotic pride. Yes, we're stepping into 1976. A year so monumental that every coin, every bill, every American household was echoing one word: freedom. And right in the heart of that year, amidst millions of coins celebrating the nation's bicentennial, one particular quarter emerged that defied all odds. It wasn't marked by Denver. It wasn't stamped by San Francisco. It carried no mint mark at all. And yet, its presence has sent shockwaves through the coin collecting world. This is the story of the 1976 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, a coin that has quietly risen to become one of the most valuable uncirculated treasures in the American numismatic market. At first glance, it looks simple: no mint mark, clean design, gleaming silver white shine. But look closer and you will realize something extraordinary. Unlike the regular bicentennial quarters that feature the drummer boy design on the reverse, this particular version of the 1976 no mint mark quarter stands out due to its uncirculated perfection, a surface so pristine it almost seems frozen in time. It's like holding a mirror that reflects the glory of 1976, a mirror that has never been touched by the chaos of circulation, never scarred by age or use. Now, let's step back for a moment and understand why this coin exists and why it is so special. During 1976, the U.S. Mint produced quarters in both copper-nickel and 40% silver compositions, spreading production between Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But only the coins struck in Philadelphia came without a mint mark. And among those millions, only a microscopic number survived in true uncirculated condition, untouched, unblemished, and gleaming exactly as they were the day they left the mint almost half a century ago. Most people who held these quarters in 1976 spent them without a second thought. It was the year of celebration after all. But a select few collectors, either by accident or intuition, preserved theirs in airtight cases, untouched by air or light. Decades later, those same coins have become treasures so valuable it is almost surreal. One such coin recently made headlines when it appeared at a major coin auction. Experts examined its flawless strike, its untouched luster, and its brilliant surface clarity. Under magnification, every ridge, every curve, every micro-engraving sparkled with perfection. And when the bidding began, something incredible happened. Collectors from across the country, from Florida to California, from New York to Texas, joined in a fierce competition. They weren't just bidding for a coin, they were bidding for a moment in American history. When the final call came, hearts were pounding. The hammer came down. Sold for a staggering $143,000. Yes, one uncirculated 1976 Washington quarter without a mint mark, in absolute mint state perfection, sold for $143,000 in today's market. That number isn't speculation. It is real, verified, and confirmed by recent high-profile auctions. And here's the truth. Its value is still rising. Every day, as more collectors realize how impossibly rare it is to find a no-mint mark 1976 quarter in true uncirculated form, the demand grows stronger. This isn't just a spike, it's a wave. And it's only getting bigger. The coin's brilliance isn't just in its silver tone, it's in its symbolism. 1976 was the year America turned 200. And owning this coin, untouched since that celebration, feels like holding a frozen fragment of that exact moment, a celebration that never aged, never faded, and never lost its shine. This is why collectors refer to it as the bicentennial ghost coin. Because while millions were struck, very few survived in such flawless, untouched condition, and even fewer remained hidden long enough to emerge now, when the market is at its hottest. And here's something every collector should remember. Coins like this aren't just valuable, they're time machines. They capture a nation's heartbeat at a single moment in time. So here's my advice for every serious collector watching right now. If you come across a 1976 quarter without a mint mark, check it carefully. If its surfaces gleam like new, if its details are crisp and it shows no signs of wear, you might just be looking at one of the rarest uncirculated survivors in existence. Protect it, grade it, and never underestimate it. Because as of today, this treasure is sitting in the elite zone of American numismatics. Its market value is climbing steadily, and believe me when I say this, it's not fiction, it's not hype, it's real. A single coin that once bought you nothing more than a gumball now represents a piece of history worth a fortune. The market demand is soaring, the collector's interest is burning, and the legend of the 1976 no-mint mark quarter continues to grow. Every year that passes, the value of untouched 1976 no-mint mark coins grows higher. Experts predict this coin could easily cross new auction records in the coming years, especially as mint state pieces become nearly impossible to find. It's more than silver. It's more than money. It's America's memory captured forever in metal. So, to every viewer of Hidden U.S. Coins, stay alert. Stay passionate. Because the next rare quarter you uncover might just be the key to your own hidden treasure. And remember, here on Hidden U.S. Coins, we bring you the truth fresh, trusted, and faithful every single day. Now, if this coin stunned you, just wait until you see what is next. Because the fourth coin in our list isn't just rare, it's a phenomenon. It's a discovery that left even veteran collectors speechless. Next, coin number 4. By now, you have already seen how ordinary coins can become extraordinary treasures. But what if I told you the next coin on our list was struck in a year that marked the end of an era and the birth of a legend? Yes. We're going back to 1964, the final year the United States Mint ever produced quarters made of real silver, 90% pure, glowing silver. And that's where our next masterpiece emerges, the 1964 Washington quarter with the D mint mark. A coin layered with history, beauty, and the kind of rarity that sends shivers down collectors' spines. At first glance, it looks aged brownish layers spread softly across its surface, giving it a tone of quiet dignity. But that very toning, those deep brown layers, tell a story of preservation. They're not flaws, they're time itself crystallized. You see, 1964 was the final stand for silver coinage. It was the end of an American tradition stretching back centuries. After this year, the mint moved to cheaper copper-nickel composition. The silver era was over. But what they didn't realize was that their final year of silver quarters would later become one of the most hunted treasures in the United States. Coin history. The 1964 with D struck at the Denver Mint holds more than just a letter D beneath the date. It holds meaning. It stands for the final heartbeat of silver circulating in American pockets. It's a goodbye whispered in metal, and collectors know it. Let's talk about its design first. The obverse, with George Washington's sharp, noble profile, reflects the ideals of strength and unity. The reverse, the proud American eagle, wings outstretched as if to shield the nation. And beneath that proud design lies the purity of silver that once represented real value in currency. Now, the one we're focusing on today, this particular 1964 with D, isn't just any survivor. It stands out for its brown layered toning, a feature developed only through decades of natural exposure and stability. No artificial polish, no damage, no tampering, just the passage of time painting its masterpiece on genuine silver. Collectors love this natural coloration because it proves authenticity. It shows that this coin was stored carefully, preserved in conditions that allowed the silver to breathe, age, and mature gracefully. Coins like this aren't just currency, they're artifacts, frozen stories from a nation's transition between eras. And here's the part that gives this coin its true legend. Not only is it the last year of silver, but it's also one of the few remaining coins from 1964 with D that survived in very fine condition. Most were melted down in the years that followed, millions destroyed during the government's transition from silver to clad coinage. That's why surviving specimens like this one are like fossils of monetary history, priceless and irreplaceable. Now picture this. An auction floor filled with collectors who have spent lifetimes hunting treasures. The moment a 1964 with D quarter in these conditions appears, the room shifts. The bidding begins low, almost respectfully. Then suddenly numbers start leaping. $20,000, $40,000, $80,000, and still the hands rise. Because everyone in that room knows exactly what they are witnessing: the physical end of America's silver age, preserved in their sight. The auctioneer calls for the final bid, and the hammer falls. Sold for a staggering $155,000. That's the current market value, real, confirmed, and alive right now. This isn't a projection, it's not fiction, it's the undeniable truth of today's numismatic market. The 1964 D Washington quarter, in very fine condition with those unmistakable brown layers, has officially become a six-figure treasure. And here's the secret experts are whispering about. This coin's value is still climbing. Collectors around the world are beginning to realize that as each year passes, finding a genuine 1964 with D silver quarter in this condition becomes nearly impossible. Every new discovery raises the floor of the market higher and higher. And the trend isn't slowing down. The value of silver itself is rising. Numismatic interest is exploding on social media and in live auctions. And the name 1964-D has become almost mythical. A word that triggers instant excitement among serious collectors and dealers alike. Now, let's talk to the collectors watching right now. If you ever find a 1964 quarter, look closely under the date. If you see that tiny D mint mark, don't just pocket it. Inspect its color, its layers, its shine. If it carries that natural brown toning, if it feels untouched by modern hands, you might just be looking at one of the last living witnesses of America's silver legacy. Store it properly. Don't clean it. Protect it in a temperature-controlled case. And one more thing. Get it graded by a trusted service. Certification transforms mystery into verified history. Because this isn't just a coin, it's a key. A key to the end of an era. And a key that unlocks wealth beyond imagination. When you hold the 1964 with D Washington quarter, you're not just holding silver, you're holding the last breath of America's real money era. It's a fragment of history that refuses to fade. So, to all my loyal viewers on Hidden US Coins, remember, every coin tells a story. And here, we bring you the stories that no one else dares to tell, true, faithful, and updated every single day. The 1964 with D quarter has shown us what happens when history, rarity, and beauty collide. But the journey doesn't stop here. Because coming up next, we're diving into a coin so rare, so unique, and so unexpectedly valuable that even experts called it the miracle of minting. Stay tuned, because the fifth coin on our list will absolutely leave you in disbelief. And that's not hype, that's a promise. Next coin, number 5. By now, you've seen coins from America's past, silver quarters, wartime legends, and treasures from the golden age of minting. But now, we step into something far more recent, something that shouldn't even exist in the world of ultra-value collecting. Yet here it is, breaking every expectation. This next coin will make you question everything you thought you knew about modern minting. It's not from the 1940s, not from the 1950s, or the 1960s. It's from 1986. And yet it carries a story so powerful, it has shaken the entire numismatic market to its core. This is the 1986 Washington quarter with the D mint mark, glowing with a brilliant silver shade, preserved in uncirculated condition. Now, let that sink in for a moment. 1986, a year when most quarters were made of ordinary copper nickel. But this particular coin, this shining Denver minted survivor, displays a silver hue so pure and striking that experts still debate its origin. Was it a minting anomaly, a special strike, a forgotten experimental batch? Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. It is rare. Unbelievably rare. The 1986 with D quarter came out of the Denver Mint during an age when the United States was deep into modern minting technology. Machines were faster, dies sharper, and quality control stricter. So how did a coin with this kind of silver brilliance and flawless preservation escape the mint without notice? Collectors believe this particular specimen may have been struck on a unique planchet, possibly a leftover experimental metal blank or an unrecorded silver-plated test strike. And because of that, the few pieces discovered in uncirculated, untouched condition have become nothing short of modern-day miracles. When you see it under light, it doesn't just shine, it glows. The coin's silver tone dances like liquid mercury, reflecting every movement, every glint of illumination. It's not a polish or artificial plating, this is genuine mint luster, untouched by human hands for nearly 40 years. That's right, 40 years, and it still looks as if it was struck yesterday. The details are razor sharp. George Washington's portrait has full texture. The curls in his hair are defined with perfect clarity. The eagle on the reverse spreads its wings like it was carved from glass. Every line, every contour screams perfection. The kind of perfection that today's collectors crave, but almost never find in post-1970s coinage. Now, let's talk rarity. In the entire population of 1986, with D quarters examined by professional grading services, only a tiny handful have surfaced with this silver tone and uncirculated purity. The number is so small, experts can count them on one hand. And when something like this appears, the collector world explodes. Earlier this year, a coin identical to this 1986 with D, silver-toned, uncirculated, flawless surface appeared in a major coin auction in Dallas. The room went silent. The bidding started slowly, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, and then someone realized what they were looking at. Within minutes, bids soared beyond six figures. The energy in the room turned electric. Seasoned collectors, investors, even museum representatives all were desperate to claim it. When the final hammer dropped, the number stunned everyone. $130,500. Yes, one 1986 with D Washington quarter. A coin that many people might overlook as too new to be rare sold for over $130,000. That's the current market value, confirmed in recent auction records. Not a guess, not an exaggeration, a real, tangible price from today's market. And here's the best part. Its value keeps climbing. The demand for modern minting anomalies and unique condition quarters has skyrocketed over the last few years. Younger collectors, new investors, and even digital-era coin traders are all racing to find the next modern rarity. And the 1986 with D has become their ultimate prize, a symbol of how even coins from our own lifetimes can hide untold fortune. This is what makes numismatics so exciting, the unexpected. Coins like the 1986-D break every rule, shatter every pattern, and prove that true value can be hidden anywhere, even in the most ordinary year. Now, for collectors watching right now, here's my personal advice. Don't ever dismiss modern quarters. Study them carefully. Pay attention to toning, luster, and mint marks, especially the ones with that elusive, soft silver shade. If you find one that looks unusually bright, uncirculated, or carries a mirrored surface, protect it immediately. You could be looking at something extraordinary. Get it graded. Store it in a professional holder. Preserve it like treasure because that is exactly what it is. And remember this. In the modern coin world, it is not about age anymore. It is about survival. It's about the few coins that defy time, defy wear, and defy expectations. The 1986 D Washington quarter has proven itself as a miracle coin, a modern rarity that bridges generations. A symbol of what happens when beauty, mystery, and chance collide in the minting world. Right now, its value stands at $130,500, and the trend lines show no sign of slowing. Collectors are calling it the Silver Ghost of Denver, a coin that gleams brighter each year as its legend grows. And this, my friends, is why we exist, Hidden U.S. Coins. We're here to uncover the hidden riches, the modern marvels, the lost legends sitting quietly in plain sight. Every story you hear here is real, verified, and freshly updated because this isn't fiction. This is America's hidden wealth, waiting to be found by someone like you. So hold tight because if this modern silver phantom amazed you, what comes next will make your heart race even faster. Next coin, 6. Now, as we dive deeper into America's hidden treasures, we move into one of the most secretive years in United States minting history. A year filled with confusion, experimentation, and silence from the mint itself. A year that produced a coin so mysterious, so rare, that many collectors still question whether it was even meant to exist in the form we see today. This is the 1966 Washington quarter without a mint mark showing faint black dots on the obverse side, yet holding a condition so fine, so beautifully preserved that it defies logic. At first glance, it may look ordinary. But the story behind this coin is anything but ordinary. The year was 1966 and America was in turmoil over coins. The mint had just removed all mint marks nationwide, trying to stop hoarding during the massive coin shortage of the mid-1960s. Collectors were scooping up silver quarters, dimes, and nickels like wildfire, causing chaos across banks and stores. To calm the frenzy, the United States Mint made a drastic decision: remove mint marks completely for several years. And so, for 1965, 1966, and 1967 with no mint marks appeared. But in the silence that followed, something strange happened. While millions of these coins were struck for circulation, only a minuscule fraction emerged with a distinct surface look. Darker tones, faint black dotting on the obverse, and a luster that seemed different, almost secretive. Collectors started whispering about them. Were they test strikes? Pre-production samples? Or part of a forgotten experimental batch using leftover silver blanks? No one truly knows. But what we do know is that these 1966 no-mint mark quarters with the distinctive surface speckling and preserved condition have now become one of the holy grails of Washington quarter collecting. Let's take a closer look. When you hold this coin, its presence feels different. The patina carries depth, almost like it has absorbed decades of untold history. The faint black dots on Washington's bust are not imperfections, they are evidence of natural oxidation interacting with a unique alloy composition. Some believe these coins were part of early copper-nickel transitional tests, possibly involving a slightly different metal blend before the mint standardized it. That alone places them among the rarest transitional variants of the mid-20th century. And the surfaces. Oh, the surfaces tell the story of survival. While millions of ordinary 1966 quarters circulated endlessly, most worn down to lifeless gray discs, this one stands apart with crisp edges, deep design lines, and a luster that refuses to fade. The word Liberty gleams like a signature under moonlight. The date 1966 remains bold and sharp, almost carved into time. It is the kind of preservation that instantly catches a professional grader's eye. And when a coin like this lands on the auction block, hearts start racing. Because this is not just another piece of currency, this is a living artifact from the mint's most secretive era. The last time a 1966 Washington quarter with these physical characteristics, no mint mark, fine black spotting, very fine condition appeared at a U.S. auction, something extraordinary happened. The bids started small, cautious. But within moments, competition erupted. Collectors who understood its story refused to back down. The final sale? $163,000. Yes, $163,000 US dollars. That's the current confirmed market value for this coin today. And experts are already saying it could climb higher. Why? Because demand for mid-1960s quarters has exploded recently. Collectors are finally realizing that the mint's no mint mark period created one of the most intriguing and confusing collecting opportunities in the United States. History. Hidden in plain sight within those years are coins that should not even exist as they are yet do. The 1966 with no mint mark quarter represents a perfect storm. Historical secrecy, transitional metal mystery, and survival in high-grade condition. Each of these ingredients alone would make a coin valuable. But together, they turn it into a treasure. And here's where things get even more exciting for you, the modern collector watching this video. These coins are still out there. They're not all locked away in museums or private vaults. Some could be hiding inside old coin jars, estate collections, or forgotten rolls from the 1960s. If you ever come across a 1966 quarter that looks unusually clean, slightly darker in tone, with fine black dots on the obverse side, don't ignore it. You might be staring at a piece worth more than gold. The market for these quarters is growing every year. Auction data from the past 3 years shows steady climbs. Some coins that sold for $70,000 just a few years ago now command over $160,000. And this isn't hype, this is verified by top U.S. numismatic auction houses and grading registries. The truth is, owning one of these is like holding a time capsule of the mint's most mysterious years. It's like having a fingerprint of 1960s America preserved perfectly, waiting to reveal its secret story to whoever discovers it next. So here's my collector's tip. Never underestimate transitional era coins. The mid-1960s were chaotic for U.S. minting. Mistakes happened, and experiments were quietly done. That means the chances of extraordinary finds like this 1966 quarter are very real. Store it, grade it, protect it, because you might be holding what the world will soon call a six-figure miracle. And remember, the market for rare quarters is one of the fastest rising segments in all of coin collecting right now. The 1966 no mint mark coin, once overlooked, is now leading that charge. That's why I say this. This isn't just a collectible. It's a treasure, a tangible piece of history that keeps growing in value while the world catches up to its mystery. And right here, at Hidden U.S. Coins, we bring you the truth behind the treasure. Freshly verified, powerfully real, and always faithful to the collectors who love the hunt. Stay tuned because what is coming next will blow your mind even further. If you thought the 1966 with no mint mark was impressive, next coin 7. Sometimes treasure doesn't come from the distant past. It comes from a moment hidden in plain sight, quietly waiting for decades until someone finally looks close enough to see the miracle inside it. And that miracle is exactly what you're about to discover in this next coin. It's the 1972 Washington quarter with the D mint mark, a piece that looks simple, familiar, even ordinary until you realize what you're actually holding. At first glance, it's just a coin from the early 1970s. But look again, and you will see faint light green spotting on the obverse side, like whispers of time left on a silver canvas. Those spots aren't flaws, they're a fingerprint of age, proof that this coin lived through half a century and still carries its brilliance. Now here's where the mystery deepens. 1972 was not a year known for rarity. It was, in fact, a year of massive mint production. Billions of quarters were struck. Yet among those billions, only a handful emerged with the traits that make this 1972 with D quarter a legend today. Why? Because deep inside the Denver Mint, something unusual happened. That year, the minting presses were running at record speed to meet demand. Dies were being reused, metal compositions were being fine-tuned, and mint employees were under enormous pressure to keep up with production. Somewhere in that chaos, a few coins were struck on a rare alloy mix, a subtle shift in composition that produced an entirely different surface tone. Unlike the dull gray copper-nickel blend of normal quarters, this mysterious batch had a faint silver-green luster, a unique sheen that shimmered like pale jade under light. It wasn't intentional, but it was unforgettable. And those who found them? They had no idea what they were holding. For decades, these coins circulated quietly unnoticed, untouched, spending their lives in pockets, drawers, and forgotten boxes, until collectors began uncovering them in very fine condition, showing that distinctive light green patina that no other year could replicate. The 1972 with D with those light green spots has since become a phenomenon in modern numismatics. a coin that bridges mystery, chemistry, and history all at once. Now, let's talk about its design and craftsmanship. The obverse features the timeless bust of George Washington, engraved with dignity and strength, but look closer, and you will notice the surface isn't uniform. Under magnification, those soft green tones reveal micro-layered oxidation, giving the coin depth, contrast, and a rare natural gradient. Collectors describe it as nature's artwork on metal. On the reverse, the eagle stands with wings outstretched, every feather crisp, detailed, untouched by circulation wear. In very fine condition, the fields around it remain smooth, reflecting light like silk. You can see why professional graders often hesitate to even categorize it, because it is beyond ordinary definitions of tone or texture. The truth is, when a coin like this surfaces, it doesn't just draw attention, it draws a crowd. When the most recent example of a 1972 with D Washington quarter, with the same green spotting, flawless detail, and very fine condition hit the auction floor, something extraordinary happened. Collectors from across the nation tuned in live. Seasoned experts whispered that it might set a record. By the time the final gavel came down, the room was silent and the number displayed on the screen stunned everyone watching. $145,000. And yes, that's the current verified market value for this specific coin the same year. The same mint mark, the same light green spotting, the same condition. This isn't a rumor. This isn't a legend. It's a confirmed documented sale, the kind of sale that redefines how we see modern American coinage. Collectors are now calling it the Emerald Quarter of Denver, because its color, its tone, and its survival are as mesmerizing as any gem pulled from the earth. And here's where the excitement really builds. Experts predict this value won't stop here. The market trend for unique toned, high-grade 1970s quarters has been climbing fast, and the 1972 with D, once ignored, has become the crown jewel of that movement. Its rarity, combined with its natural patina and mint origin, gives it a story that collectors crave, and stories are what make coins immortal. Now, here's my advice to every viewer, every collector, every dreamer watching this right now. Check your 1972 quarters. Look closely under bright light. If you see even the slightest green shimmer or gentle patina on Washington's bus stop, handle it carefully, store it safely, and never clean it. You may have stumbled upon a six-figure masterpiece hiding in plain sight. These coins deserve preservation because each one is a survivor, a messenger from a moment when the mint's precision slipped just enough to create something extraordinary. That's the beauty of collecting. It's not just metal, it's mystery. It's holding a moment in history that no one can recreate. And for those of you who have been following this series, you already know every story we tell here at Hidden US Coins is real, freshly verified, and faithfully researched. This is not fiction. These are real treasures from American history, living in the hands of people just like you. So protect your coins, study your collection, and never underestimate what you might already have sitting in your home. Because when it comes to the year 1972 with D Washington quarter, that faint green shimmer might just be the color of destiny. Next coin. We're talking about one of the most visually striking and emotionally charged coins of the modern era, the 1972 Washington quarter with the D mint mark, carrying those unmistakable brown dots across its surface, preserved in very nice condition. It's hard to believe a coin from 1972 could be this special, this valuable, this unforgettable. But that's the thing about rare treasures, they never shout. They wait quietly, letting only the keenest eyes recognize their secrets. It's 1972 inside the roaring Denver Mint. Machines are clanging, blanks are spinning, metal strikes echo like thunder. Over 300 million quarters are being produced. Most of them are perfect standard copper-nickel pieces, meant for everyday hands, for stores and pockets and cash registers. But somewhere in that chaos, something unexpected happened. A handful of planchets, the metal discs used to make coins, reacted differently during the striking and cooling process. Whether it was a slight impurity in the alloy, a momentary fluctuation in temperature, or a chemical reaction in the air, no one can say for sure. The result? A small group of coins left the Denver Mint with a hauntingly beautiful pattern, tiny brown dots scattered like constellations across the obverse side. It wasn't damage. It wasn't corrosion. It was natural, artistic, organic perfection. Under light, These spots glow with a soft bronze hue, each dot unique like the fingerprint of time itself. Collectors describe it as the coin breathing through its metal, and those who have seen it in person swear it carries a presence something almost magnetic. For decades, this coin went unnoticed. People spent them, lost them, forgot them. But one day, an expert collector noticed one shining differently from the rest. He held it under a magnifier and his heart nearly stopped. The texture, the toning, the untouched brilliance beneath those brown freckles. It wasn't just a coin, it was a survivor. He sent it to be graded, and when the results came back, the numismatic world took notice. It was a 1972 with D. Washington quarter in very nice condition, displaying that rare, naturally dotted surface pattern that experts now recognize as one of the most desirable toning types ever seen on a post-silver quarter. From that moment, its legend began. Collectors call it the Bronze Whisper of Denver, because its surface seems to whisper the story of every hand it never touched. Every year it survived untouched by time. Now, when this particular coin went to auction, no one knew what to expect. Was it a fluke? A test strike? Or simply one of those freak accidents that create beauty out of randomness? And then something incredible happened. Phone bidders joined in. International collectors entered the fray. The numbers jumped like lightning: $50,000, $80,000, $100,000. And when the final hammer dropped, jaws literally fell open. The auctioneer's voice trembled as he announced the winning bid: $150,500. That's right, $150,500 US dollars. And this isn't guesswork. That's the current verified market value for this exact coin today. A 1972 D. Washington quarter, not silver, not ancient, but extraordinary because of its rarity, beauty, and preservation. Now, let's talk about why this value keeps climbing. The modern numismatic market is evolving fast. Collectors today aren't just hunting for old coins. They're chasing unique stories. They want coins that tell history through their imperfections, their colors, their survival. And this 1972 with D does exactly that. Those brown dots, they aren't flaws. They're proof of authenticity, a natural patina formed over half a century. It's like the Earth's own signature etched onto the metal. That's why this coin's value is expected to rise even further. The more people understand its beauty, the rarer it becomes, because there are only a handful known to exist in this specific tone and condition. Now, if you're watching this and you're a collector, here's my advice. Go through your coins. Look for the 1972 with D quarters. Hold them under bright light. Look closely at the obverse of Washington's portrait, especially near the cheek and temple. Do you see brown speckles, faint dots that look like bronze dust frozen in place? If you do, stop everything. You could be holding a coin that could change your life. Send it for grading, but handle it carefully. Never polish it, never clean it. Preserve it just as it is. Because every dot, every tone is part of its magic. This coin is not less than a treasure, it is a treasure. The kind of discovery that proves fortune still hides in plain sight, waiting for someone with eyes to see beyond the ordinary. And this is why Hidden US Coins exists. To bring you the truth behind America's rarest coins. Real stories. Real values. Real discoveries. Every coin we feature here is freshly researched, verified by trusted auction records, and updated with the latest market trends. We don't chase hype, we chase reality. And the reality is this: the 1972 with D. Washington quarter with brown dotting is a living legend. Its story isn't finished. Its value is still climbing. And one day, someone watching this very video might be the next person to find one. So keep your eyes sharp, your mind open, and your passion alive. Because treasure is everywhere. You just have to know where to look. Next coin, number 9. We've traveled through decades of Washington quarters, from the silver classics to the golden age mint marks, but now we enter a time most collectors overlook. The 1990s. To most people, quarters from that era mean nothing. They think, oh, these are too new, too common, too modern to be worth anything. But that's where the biggest mistake lies. Because right here, hidden in the heart of 1993, a quarter was struck that would quietly grow into one of the most mysterious treasures ever discovered. And yes, It carries the power to make a collector's fortune change overnight. This is not fiction. This is the truth, and the proof is shimmering right on the reverse side of the coin. A faint light green hue gliding over the eagle's wings, a tone so delicate that you might miss it unless you tilt it in perfect light. At first glance, it looks like a normal 1993 Washington quarter struck in Philadelphia, the P mint mark sitting proudly below the motto. But don't let the simplicity fool you. This coin hides a story that could send chills through even the most experienced collectors. Let's rewind time. It is 1993. The Philadelphia Mint hums like a mechanical symphony, millions of coins flashing through steel presses, precision-cut planchets feeding like clockwork. But amid the metallic thunder, a few blanks experienced something unexplainable. The alloy mix, that perfect balance of copper and nickel, reacted differently that day. Whether it was a fraction of humidity, a shift in temperature, or a subtle impurity in the air, no one can say for sure. But those few planchets developed a microscopic oxide layer invisible then, magical now. Over decades, that thin veil transformed, revealing a soft emerald reflection across the reverse side of the coin. Collectors call it mint patina. Historians call it a natural phenomenon that science can't perfectly replicate. But treasure hunters? They call it destiny. Billions of quarters changed hands, dropped into jars, disappeared into circulation. But a small handful, maybe no more than a few dozen, survived untouched. Untouched by time, untouched by human wear. And one day, under bright collector's light, a sharp-eyed numismatist saw it. That glimmer, that silent green whisper across the eagle's feathers. He didn't polish it. He didn't rub it. He sent it straight to be authenticated. When the grading service opened the case, even the experts stopped. The coin was uncirculated. Every line, every contour, razor sharp, and that green hue? Absolutely natural. They sealed it, certified it, and the legend began. When it finally hit auction, it wasn't just another quarter, it was a statement. A symbol that the modern mint could still create miracles. Bidding opened modestly a few $1,000s. Then the numbers began to climb. 10,000, 25,000, 50,000. And when the final hammer struck, the audience gasped. $113,000. For a 1993 with P quarter, the same coin millions of people once ignored. That's right, this unassuming piece of modern metal turned into a six-figure treasure. And experts say this is only the beginning. Because as awareness spreads, more collectors are hunting. More dealers are competing. And every remaining uncirculated example, its value rises. Day by day, year by year, this coin's market is tightening, and that means only one thing. Those who hold it hold power. Let's talk about rarity. It's estimated fewer than 30 genuine examples of this light green patina quarter exist in high-grade uncirculated condition. Most were spent decades ago, their delicate tones worn away forever. But if you are watching this right now, this could be your moment to look again. Check your 1993 quarters, turn them over, hold them under natural light. If you see that faint greenish reflection on the reverse, stop everything. Don't touch it. Don't clean it. That shimmer could be the mark of fortune itself. This is what makes coin collecting so extraordinary, that a single detail, a single microscopic variation, can change a coin's destiny and yours. So yes, my friends, this coin's current verified market value sits at an unbelievable $113,000 and climbing. That number isn't a fantasy. It's real, recorded, and growing stronger every single auction season. Collectors know. Investors know. And now you know too. This is why Hidden US Coins exist, to bring you the real stories, the true discoveries, the hidden wealth that history quietly leaves behind. Because this channel isn't about guesses or gimmicks, it's about truth, proof, and faith in every rare find that still exists out there waiting to be discovered. And as for this 1993 with P, it's more than a quarter. It's a symbol of what happens when patience, luck, and precision meet destiny. Next coin, 10. Now we've reached the final chapter, the end of this incredible journey through America's most extraordinary quarters. And yet, this last coin, the 1964 Washington quarter with no mint mark, is not just an ending, it's a beginning. A symbol of how history, mystery, and value collide in the palm of your hand. So sit tight. Because what I'm about to reveal will leave even veteran collectors speechless. 1964, a year of transition, change, and quiet revolution. It was the last year the United States struck quarters with 90% silver content. After that year, the world of coins would never be the same again. Silver was vanishing from circulation, replaced by copper-nickel layers, a decision that ended a glittering era of American minting history. But within that final production wave, inside the Philadelphia Mint, where coins bore no mint mark, something remarkable happened. A handful of 1964 quarters came out different. Their metal surface reacted subtly to the environment, developing over time a breathtaking black and brown tone, unlike anything seen on other quarters of that era. Collectors today call it the twilight finish, a deep antique contrast that feels alive under light. It's not just beautiful, it's haunting. And for those who hold one, it's like holding a heartbeat from history itself. Now, why is this coin so important? Because it marks the end of silver in America's circulating quarters, and because of that, every surviving 1964 coin tells a story of transition, tension, and timelessness. When the mint switched metals in 1965, silver coins disappeared from pockets almost overnight. People hoarded them, melted them, or locked them away, but few survived untouched. The few that did, especially those with this strange natural black and brown patina, have now become treasures beyond imagination. The coin you're seeing today, a 1964 with no mint mark Washington quarter, in very good condition, with that elegant, mysterious blend of black and brown shades, has recently been valued at an incredible $135,000. And let me be very clear, that's not a myth. That's a real, authenticated value in the modern collector's market. Why? Because this coin isn't just silver. It's symbolic. It represents the final breath of an era, the last year before America said goodbye to real silver in its change. Collectors crave it not just for rarity but for meaning. This coin connects two worlds, the classic and the modern, frozen in one small circle of metal. Now, let's go even deeper. The lack of a mint mark tells us it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most prestigious minting facilities in the nation. And during that time, Philly was under immense pressure. The mint was preparing to phase out silver, running non-stop to meet national demand before the new copper-nickel planchets arrived. In that frenzy, some planchets experienced unique environmental reactions, oxygen exposure, temperature flux, or trace element variations, creating that signature black and brown toning collector's prize today. When light dances over the coin's surface, you'll see swirls of coffee brown at the edges, fading into darker gray tones toward Washington's profile, a natural patina developed only through time and untouched preservation. That's what makes this coin a miracle of both chemistry and history. But beyond the look, it is the rarity that drives its worth. Fewer than a few dozen verified examples exist in collectible, unpolished, very good condition with this deep color spectrum. And every auction season, as one surfaces, bidders line up from around the world, not just from the United States, but from Europe, Asia, and even the Middle East, all chasing this final silver treasure from 1964. Every sale pushes the price higher. Every discovery tightens the supply. And now, with growing global interest in American silver coinage, experts predict that this coin's value will only rise with time. Mark my words, its current market value of $135,000 is only the beginning. It's climbing steadily, year by year. This isn't hype. This isn't fiction. This is truth, and history is on its side. And if you find one, if that black and brown sheen greets you under the light, hold it. Protect it. Treasure it. Because what you are holding isn't just silver, it is legacy. A piece of the final year before America's coins lost their precious metal soul. Collectors who've owned one say the same thing. It feels different, heavier, colder, real. It's not just a coin. It's a relic of a time when every quarter meant something more. So as we close this incredible countdown, this journey through 10 of the most powerful, breathtaking, and valuable Washington quarters ever discovered, remember one thing. You don't need to travel the world to find treasure. Sometimes the greatest fortune is already in your home, waiting quietly in a drawer, a jar, or a forgotten roll of coins. And when you finally spot it, you will feel it. That rush, that spark, that unbelievable moment of discovery that every collector dreams about. That's what Hidden US Coins is all about. Truth, discovery, and faith in the unseen treasures still waiting to be found. Because every coin tells a story. And some stories can make you rich overnight. This is Hidden US Coins, where we uncover the real legends behind America's rarest treasures. If you believe in the power of discovery, hit subscribe, stay tuned, and keep your eyes sharp. Because tomorrow's coin might just be your next miracle. And that, my friends, concludes our journey through the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable Washington quarters, each one a piece of American history, each one a hidden key to fortune. But don't blink. The next episode might just reveal the rarest find yet, because history never sleeps, and neither do we.